The Galactic Council chamber stretched across 3 kilometers of crystalline architecture, a monument to the 847 species that had earned their place among the stars. Today, for the first time in 12 millennia, representatives from species number 848 stood before the assembled delegates. Bella adjusted the translation collar around her neck, her fingers trembling slightly as she gazed across the vast amphitheater. Beside her, Feroz maintained his composure, though she could see the tension in his jaw. They were the first humans to address the council, and the weight of their entire species rested on their shoulders. "The primate delegates may speak," announced High Arbiter Thexanol, his 6 eyes regarding them with barely concealed contempt. His chitinous plates clicked dismissively, a sound that didn't need translation. For 63 years, humanity had been petitioning for full council membership. For 63 years, they had been denied. Too weak, the council said. Too fragile. Too primitive. Bella stepped forward, her footsteps echoing in the cavernous silence. "Honored delegates," she began, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "We come not to beg for your acceptance, but to offer you a warning." A ripple of what might have been laughter passed through the chamber. The Krathal delegation, massive beings of Livingstone, rumbled with amusement. The gaseous Velshire pulsed with colors that their translators rendered as mockery. A warning? Thexanol's mandibles clicked. From a species that took 400 years to reach their own moon? From beings who still succumb to their own atmospheric bacteria? Please enlighten us. Feroz moved beside Bella, his dark eyes scanning the assembly. He'd spent 3 decades preparing for this moment, studying every species, every alliance, every war the Council had survived. He spoke quietly, but his words carried. "You've had peace for 2,000 years. You believe you've transcended conflict." "We have," declared Ambassador Cormeth of the Zinthari Collective, her crystalline form refracting light into patterns of certainty. "We evolved beyond such barbarism long ago." "No," Bella said, and something in her tone made the chamber fall silent. "You became comfortable. There's a difference." She activated the holographic display built into her wrist-mounted datapad. Images flooded the space above the council floor. Surveillance data, intercepted communications, fleet movements along the outer reaches. "The Velcarn swarms are coming," Feroz continued, his voice cutting through the confused murmurs. "They've been breeding in the dark spaces between galaxies for 8 centuries, and they've found you. They'll reach council space in 14 months. The Velcarn," the name sent a chill through every species old enough to remember. They were the nightmare that had nearly destroyed galactic civilization 3 millennia ago, the reason the council had formed in the first place. But they had been defeated, driven beyond the galactic rim, believed extinct. "Impossible," Thexanol declared, but his voice carried uncertainty now. "Our deep space monitors would have detected." "Your deep space monitors were designed by species that haven't fought a real war in 2,000 years. Bella interrupted. "You scan for energy signatures, for quantum disturbances, for the markers of civilized technology. The Velcarn travel in biological ships through subdimensional currents your sensors are blind to. We found them because we still remember how to look for predators." The hologram shifted, showing data streams that made several delegates recoil. Feroz had spent years infiltrating pirate networks, following rumors and ghost stories that the council dismissed as superstition. What he'd found was worse than anyone had imagined. "They number in the trillions now," he said, "and they're hungry." "Even if this is true," Cormeth said, her light patterns flickering with anxiety, "what can your species possibly offer? You have no world crackers, no reality shards, no dimensional anchors. Your ships barely exceed light speed. You are, as you've always been, the weakest among us." Bella smiled then, and it was not a pleasant expression. "You're right. We're weak. Our bones break easily. Our lifespans are brief. We evolved on a death world where everything, the weather, the geology, the other life, was trying to kill us. We spent 10,000 years fighting each other, destroying ourselves over and over, learning lessons written in blood and ash." She stepped closer to the council floor's edge, her eyes blazing. "You want to know what we can offer? We remember how to be afraid. We remember how to adapt. We remember how to fight when fighting is hopeless, how to sacrifice, how to do terrible things to ensure tomorrow exists." Feroz brought up new data, human military projections, tactical analyses, battle simulations that made the Council's war algorithms look like children's games. Your species spent millennia perfecting peace. We spent millennia perfecting war. Not because we're savage, because we had no choice. And now for the first time in your history, neither do you. The chamber erupted in chaos. Delegates shouted, colors flashed, pheromones clouded the air. But Thexenol raised his primary limbs for silence, his compound eyes fixed on the two humans. What do you propose? Bella's voice was iron. Give us command of your defense, not your ships, you can keep those. Give us access to your resources, your manufacturing, your soldiers. We'll train them. We'll remember for them. And when the Velcarn come... She paused, meeting the High Arbiter's gaze. We'll do what you can't anymore. We'll teach the universe to fear humanity. The vote took 3 hours. It was not unanimous. But when it concluded, humanity, the weakest, most fragile, most primitive species ever to petition the Council, was granted not just membership, but military authority over every defense fleet in Council space. As Bella and Faraz left the chamber, she whispered, "Think we scared them enough?" Faraz glanced back at the assembled delegates, at the fear and hope warring in 1,000 different faces. "Not yet," he said quietly. "But when this is over, they'll understand what we've always known. The scariest thing in the universe isn't the monsters in the dark. It's what we become to fight them." Behind them, the Galactic Council began preparing for war, led by the species they had once dismissed. The universe, whether it knew it or not, had just changed forever. And somewhere in the cold dark between galaxies, the Velcarn swarms continued their inexorable approach, unaware that humanity was waiting.